Well, hello friends, welcome back to another video in my apartment makeover series. The truth of the matter is that currently I actually have a pretty big makeover, the bedroom makeover, that I'm working on, and it is taking actually forever. It's why you haven't seen a video from me in a while. And so I thought, you know what, sometimes makeovers happen in these big room transformations, but a lot of times these big transformations actually happen through all the small little projects along the way. And so that's what today's about. Today I am tackling a bunch of small summer projects that I've had in my head, and it starts right here on this windowsill. So I have this odd window gap in my kitchen behind the kitchen counter. It may not be super noticeable at first, but it's odd and it's also gross from never being cleaned, not to mention it's a really wasted opportunity. But seeing as this little odd space is right next to a window, and a southern window at that, I have had the dream of building a shelf here, essentially acting as a new windowsill that would be home for a kitchen herb garden. So if I'm completely honest with you guys, I have no clue why I've waited to do this till now. Right when you walk into my apartment and through my entryway, you have to walk up these stairs to get to the main floor where we live. So there's this little empty landing area that I venture past daily. The ridiculous thing about the situation is that I've had these two art pieces from my last apartment. I was able to thrift these matching frames from Facebook Marketplace and put some downloadable art in them. And almost from the moment I moved in, I thought this little landing would be a perfect place for them. And yet, I've put off hanging them up until now. Looking back on it, I definitely think this was an instance where my perfectionism got the better of me. I guess I just kept wanting to figure out how to make this little niche perfect, and since I never had a grand vision for this area, I just never started with the easy thing I already had. And that's a total shame, because now that the art is hung, I appreciate it every day and every time I walk up these stairs. I guess sometimes you just have to start, and sometimes you've just got to keep things simple. So I will choose an old home with all its quirks for all its antique charm and character every time over a new build. But let me tell you, boy, do they present some challenges when trying to make things level or straight. Here I promised the legs were equal height, but of course when I put the base in, it wasn't level. Now thankfully the fix for this was just sawing down one of the legs a bit, but the next challenge I was a bit more worried about. Now I had already made a template for this shelf as you saw before from paper and tape and some cardboard, but tracing this out on the plywood forced me to recognize there's a huge gap in my precision with a pencil and with a jigsaw.
All right, well now it's time to cut this out. This is by far the most detailed shape I've ever tried to cut out with my jigsaw by a long shot. I feel like I maybe have a decent chance because it's pretty thin plywood, but I don't know, we're just gonna have to see and find out. That's really all there is to it. The next item on the to-do list is cleaning this closet, because I've made a mess of it.
So this is my tools, DIY arts and crafts closet, and perhaps it doesn't look super messy on first glance, but the truth is this closet lately has become almost unusable for me.
And actually, if you zoom out, it gets even worse. Because for the past month or so, I haven't even been trying to put the stuff back in this closet because I have no clue where any of it should go. When we first moved in, I put everything in this closet and it was clean, but I could have predicted that this mess would have happened because there wasn't a system. I just kind of put stuff where it was supposed to go with no rhyme or reason, no thought behind what do I use most, what do I need kind of most easily accessible, what makes sense for space allocation, can I get rid of stuff? I thought through none of that when we moved in. I just shoved it in here.
This is by far the biggest closet in our apartment. The challenge is that it was definitely designed for clothes and not tools. And as you can see here, especially when I put these shelves in place, it is incredibly hard to navigate and access everything in the back. The huge problem with how I had organized this closet before was that the things in the back were hard to get to, and once I had used them, instead of putting them back where they go, I put them on the floor. Eventually, of course, I stopped trying to put anything in this closet at all. So what I really needed to do was prioritize the layout, flow, and making sure that the things I needed most often were close to the front. Oh, and I also needed to declutter, because as much fun as it is to keep that piece of cardboard I thought that was really cool and totally might use one day, I need to own up to the reality that I don't have the space for it if I want this closet to be functional. Next up, I want to see if I can find a different placement of these shelves that I like, because right now they totally just block your entrance and make this narrow closet even narrower and harder to navigate. So I don't have much faith that there's going to be an incredibly new situation, but let's experiment. But boy, was I wrong. It was a very tight fit and required some finesse. But I discovered this black shelf I had basically fit sideways in this closet, and this was a huge turning point. Oh, and yeah, this was the part where some finesse came in. So, we now have a functional closet. Yay! I'm thrilled. I can walk in the closet now without tripping over stuff. But as you can also see, the thing that I have left to put in this closet are all my faux florals. So we need to take a look at how we're going to do this. Now, I would say these were actually the first key domino effect in this closet going sour the first time, because I didn't have a good system for them. So I just kind of stick these flowers places that they fit, which oftentimes was the nearest available floor spot, if you know what I mean. And so it happened that the thing that I need the least from this closet, which are these faux florals, because you pull them out kind of at the change of season, were blocking me from the things that I needed to get frequently. All of my tools. So I'm hoping that we can switch this around. I've got my tools now in front, and I'm hoping to stick the faux florals back in this corner. Let me show you. So this corner, these shelves are cool because they are actually the perfect length for the average faux floral stem. So what I want to do is make a grid of sorts so that I can stick the faux florals in while keeping them organized and easily accessible. And I want to create this grid out of this cardboard box. Here's the deal. While I've been making my herb garden shelf thing, I have reinvigorated my dislike for these countertops. I think they just look old and dated. Not what I want. And I remember that in the video where I put up this hops garland, I suggested to you guys, what if I did a contact paper on these countertops? And by and large, y'all said, no, don't do it. Bad idea. So I listened, I didn't do it. But the thing is, I still have it. And the past day or two it's been nagging at me. So I think I'm gonna do a test strip and then, yeah, I'll wait to hear what you guys also think about this. And to be honest, you guys, even as I'm editing this, I still haven't made up my mind about what's best here. I definitely think the contact paper is way better than the one I originally tried, but I'm not sure if it's worth it or even if it's an improvement. I'm slightly worried that this contact paper just reads as fake, and that would obviously be bad. But I also know contact paper is my only option to change the look of countertops in a renter-friendly way. So please comment down below and tell me your thoughts on this one. Should I do it, or should I just leave the countertops as they are? I was really excited to use these pots. I know I'm a long way from the perfectly curated finished kitchen, but I also know the path to get there is through intentional choices like this one, where I'm insisting that every object I bring in has character. My thinking is, since I will see them every day, why shouldn't they be beautiful? And I hope that one day when I finish this kitchen, it won't be because I've completed this one really grand makeover. It will be through a ton of small choices like this. In between now and the last time you saw this windowsill, I also added a piece of trim to cover up the gap. I held it down with some weights and the main shelf with my fruit bowl. Oh, and the cookie. Yeah, the cookie didn't really have a part in this. It was just for me later. I also have to say I'm so happy with how the windowsill turned out. There's something so simple about it, yet when I go in the kitchen now, it looks like it was always there or always supposed to be there. It's like this windowsill area is living up to its full potential now. And yet at the beginning of the video, it was just an empty, awkward hole. Perhaps this is why I love awkward spaces so much, because they provide an opportunity to be creative and unique. And this is just another reason why I'm so excited for some of the future plans for this kitchen, because trust me, there are way more awkward nooks and crannies to be made the most of. Oh, and please, for my sake, comment down below and tell me what you think about the contact paper. Gonna wait till I hear from you guys with this one.
And here's the thing, when we first, I gotta get some water. Okay, no hiccups, we got this, we got this. Okay, and here's the thing. I could have told you that this closet would have been a mess when we first moved in, because originally this closet was clean.
If I must, I must.